Namaskar. Hello everyone. Arvidi here. Very warm welcome to my YouTube channel. We will be going ahead with the next video of my playlist, A Course on C Programming. In this video, we'll be looking at the very first iterative control structure, that is for loop. So let's start with the concept of for loop. We have already seen that for loop is one of the iterative control structure which is deterministic, or we can say when the number of iterations are known to us. We know that we have to repeat this particular set of code these many number of times and then the for loop is useful. So let us look at the syntax, how we can design the for loop. So we'll have for, then we'll have the first statement as assignment, okay, semicolon, then we can have condition, semicolon, then we can have some expression, and the bracket is complete. Be very careful that the third expression does not end with the semicolon. These two semicolons are only working as a separator to separate these three expressions. So the first one is assignment, second one is condition, the third one is any expression which could be incrementing, decrementing, multiply, divide, or any other operation which is actually trying to make this condition false, and within that you will have a loop body. Now this loop body can contain a single statement, or it can contain more than one or multiple statements as well. Whatever is there in this loop body will be repeated depending on the overall scenario of assignment and condition along with the expression. So now what does it do? It would start with the assignment. This is the only time when this assignment expression would be executed. Obviously we don't want that a particular loop variable to be assigned to a given value multiple times. We only want it to be done at the beginning. Once the assignment is done, then it has to execute the loop body. But as I said that the for loop is entry control, it will first go for checking the condition. So condition is checked. Let us assume that the condition is true. If it is true, it will enter into the loop body and the loop body will be executed. Once the loop body is executed, then the control goes to the expression, that is the third expression. As I said, it is trying to make the condition false gradually. So that expression will be executed. It again goes to the condition. Condition is checked. If the condition is true, it executes the loop body, then expression, condition, if true, loop body, expression, condition, if true, loop body, expression. I'm just repeating it purposely so as to give you the sense of the loop. So you can see here it is actually working in a loop, and slowly and steadily this expression is working towards making the condition false. So when the desired number of iterations are completed, that expression would be successful in making the condition false. When the condition becomes false, the control would come out of this loop and it will execute the further statements sequentially. And that is how this particular for loop is designed to iterate the given number of times. Let us take a simple example so to understand how the things would work or iterate. So the example is, let's say, to display numbers from 1 to 5. So how the for loop would look like? For, I'll have a loop variable, let's say I initialized to 1 or assigned to 1. Now this I has to be declared before we can use it in the for loop. Then I want I to go up to 5, so I is less than or equal to 5. And currently I want it to increment by 1. As it is happening isolatedly, whether you write I++ or you write ++I, it doesn't matter. Now who's going to go from 1 to 5? I. So what I want to do, I want to print the value of I. Printf %d, maybe a space, and I would be displaying I. Let's see how it works. So it starts with making I as 1, then it will check. Is condition true 1 less than equal to 5? Yes, so it will print the value of I, then it goes to the expression which will make it 2. See, gradually it is trying to make the condition false. Then it will again check. Is it true? Yes, so it will execute printf, become 3, it is still true. Then it will become 4. 4 is also less than equal to 5, so that also will be printed. For 5 also, if you observe, 5 is not less but equal to 5, so the condition is still true. It will print 5. After that it will make value of I6, and many of them they have a confusion here कि I6 कैसे होगा. Obviously I6 होगा तो ही वो false होगा. So I will become 6, and for that this condition is false, and as I said, the control comes out of the block and it will continue with its further execution. So see what we wanted to do, we wanted to display 1 to 5. See, we have done that. But if someone asks you what is the value of I after the for loop is terminated, it is not 5, it is 6. It is something to be very clear about, because when I want the value of I after the for loop, it is when the for loop is over. That means the condition of the for loop is false. So that's not going to become false for I equal to 5, but for I equal to 6. So this is how rather the for loop can be easily designed, and it can be made to iterate as many number of times as we want. So instead of 5, if I put it 50, it's going to repeat 50 times. Now it can be done in the reverse way also. So the next example is when I want to display, let's say 5 to 1. So display 5 to 1. So now I can have my for loop starting from 5. I want it to go up to 1 or down to 1 maybe. So I greater than equal to 1, and I'm going to come down. So I minus minus. Again this is I who is going to go from 5 to 1. So I will print the value of I. Okay, the output is very simple and straightforward. It starts with 5. So it's going to print 5 because for 5 the condition is true. 4, 3, 2. For 1 also the condition is true. Then what will be the value of I? Obviously it will be 0, and then the condition becomes false. So on screen you should see the output like this. But again, if like we are being asked what is the value of I after the for loop is over, then it is 0. Okay, likewise you will be able to work with many more examples of for loop. Okay, and we will be able to do like a lot of good things now, because we got a hold on iterating the set of codes number of times. And that is the main aim behind having a for loop. We are going to have many more examples of for loop as and when we go ahead, even before starting with the normal programs. Like we can have for loop which will go for multiplication also. It's like suppose I have something like this. So a simple example, for I equals 1, I less than equals n, I equal to I into 2. And that shows you that you obviously can have any sort of expression over here in a for loop. And I'm now printing I. Okay, let us try to understand how these things would work. So suppose if I have value of n, let's say 30, you know what will be the output? So it will start printing 1, then it's going to become 2, 1 into 2, then 4, then 8, then 16. After that I will become 32, which is obviously making the condition false, so it will stop. Suppose the value of n is, let's say 90. Then you can see the output 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. After that it will be 128, so which is greater than 90, and it will stop. Fine. So once you understand the syntax and the logic behind development of for loop, you can use it for whatever need of a program, and that you will get to see in the program that we'll be doing further with the help of for loop. Fine. So that was the first and a very important component of iterative control structure, that is for loop. I'm sure that you've got a syntax of that very clearly. I have taken some examples so that you know how to work with it now, and when we'll start with programs, the things would be more clear. But you can very well mark this as a very important topic, and you will see how important it is when it comes to making some difficult programs simple with the help of for loop. So that's it for this video. Thank you and happy learning.